We welcome you here today at Commodity Classic in Anaheim, California. I want to introduce to you Mr. David Jones. Well, he's standing behind me, who is then going to introduce to you Mr. Chip Foose and is going to explain about this very exciting project. So thank you very much.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. I want to welcome everybody to Anaheim to the 2010 Commodity Classic. I want to recognize a few folks straight away. Chip comes up to us a couple of days ago while metal and paint are flying, and he kind of has a sheepish look on his face, and he says, "Do you think could we get a couple of passes for my parents to come in and watch this?" So, Sam and Terry Foose, welcome. We are so glad you're here, and welcome to the John Deere family. The crew from Foose Design is here as well. These magicians with metal and paint. You guys, I'm glad to see you're awake now. I know you've been pounding the Red Bull for the last 2 weeks. I am so glad you guys are here as well. And I see a couple of guys with red shirts on back here. So glad you guys are here. Welcome. Lastly, I want to say hello to everybody back at the Ag Marketing Center at John Deere in Lenexa. You guys are not going to believe this thing. What a great day this is for John Deere. It's been barely 4 months since we went to the public and said the words John Deere, Chip Foose, and 4020 in the same sentence. And in that time, thousands of people have come into John Deere dealerships to register to win this tractor. Thousands more have watched the design and build online at johndeere.com and on YouTube. And here we are finally in Southern California at the border between American car culture and American agriculture, about to pull the cover off of one of the most unique creations to ever come out of Huntington Beach or Waterloo, Iowa, for that matter. Before we do, there are a few people that I want to thank, a few folks that I want to acknowledge. Pardon me for the list, but I want to make sure I don't forget anybody. My two bosses, Rick Hahn and Steve Geik, both of the John Deere Ag Marketing Center in Lenexa, Kansas. These guys bought into our idea, sold it up the leadership chain. As we say in farming, they paid the freight both ways. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Carson Lev of Foose Design made this process so much easier than we expected it to be. Carson knew what we needed as clients, knew what we wanted as fans, and did his best to accommodate both. The guys from AA Equipment in Montclair, California, raise your hands. These guys took a road-hard 4020 and put it into good shape for Chip and his crew to work their magic on. So thank you guys very much. Some of our biggest internal advocates at John Deere, Brian Holst, Kirk Nye, who couldn't be here, Chris Anderson. Where is Chris? There's Chris. Thank you very much. I know you've been looking forward to this day. Our friends at BCS Communications and Fresh ID for helping us spread the word. Thank you very much. Now, there is one more guy to acknowledge, and while I don't imagine he needs an introduction, at least not here in his own backyard, I realize there may be some folks here who might not be familiar with his career stats. So, he is a graduate of the Art Center College of Design. He was and is the youngest ever inductee into the National Hot Rod Hall of Fame. Through 6 seasons of overhauling, made 85 dreams come true. He painted a race car for Jeff Gordon that ran at the Brickyard 400. He built a sweet GTO for Lance Armstrong. He designed a hotel and entertainment complex for the city of Detroit. And he has now welded, torched, banged, and hammered his way into the history of one of America's great brands. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable Chip Foose.
Thank you, David. And thank you to John Deere for having the, shall we say, confidence in Foose Design. We really had a blast doing this. It was really a dream come true. For me, I've looked at tractors for years and years and thought of them as, you know, there's a similar shape to these to a lot of race cars and Indy cars from back in the 30s and, you know, late 20s. And, you know, you thanked a lot of people that I would like to extend the same thank you to, but Petey, Andy, Carl, Jurgen, Lori, and Russ, and everybody that helped on this tractor, and of course Mike Curtis and Carson for being the guy that could tell me everything. I had to make sure that this is there and this has to be there, and we got to have this color, and you know. But it was really a dream come true. But I also want to thank my mom and dad, and Lynn, my wife. She's not here right now, but I'm going to bring her and the kids in later because. Even my son Brock, he said, "Dad, I want to see the tractor. I want to see it." And he has not seen it yet, but I can't wait to show it to him. But you know, like also Eric Geiser here from Street Rodder Magazine. I remember probably 20 years ago we were talking about taking tractors and turning them into hot rods. And originally this was going to just be a paint job, but I thought, you know what, we could have so much more fun with it and you know, make it a much more entertaining vehicle, something that would be fun to look at. And one of the things I wanted to make sure is that we did not destroy what we were starting with. It is pure John Deere 100% throughout. We didn't change any of the chassis or anything on the vehicle. Everything we did is a bolt-on item. You could take off everything that we've done, you know, take the paint off, put it all back. You could have this tractor back to a stock tractor within, you know, whatever A&A would know what it would take to put it back. But within a day, you could have this right back to a working tractor out in the field. I didn't want to destroy the value of the tractor there. I wanted to add things and make them bolt-on items and just have a great time making something that could entertain the viewer and actually get some, you know, some press and some people interested in looking at John Deere in a different light. And I want to thank John Deere again for the opportunity, and I hope you all enjoy it.
I'm going to grab one wheel. I'll take this one.